We're not acknowledging the ruh that Allah blew inside us, that the angels made sajda to. The angels made sajda to it, man. Or because of it. And here we are thinking we're helpless. I can't make a decision. I don't know what to do. You're not helpless. You're incredibly powerful.
Assalamu alaikum. You mentioned how Allah is in absolute control over everything in our life, and He has given us some control in it. There's a renowned philosopher, Islamic philosopher and poet. He says in Urdu, "Loh pitu, kalam pitu, tera wajud al-kitab." Basically, the idea of being the writer of your own book, and a lot of his work revolves around the concept of khudi. And that does sounds reasonable in a way, because after the advent of Islam, the Muslims, there was a golden age all over. And that because Islam, I think, really gave them a sense of recognition, a purpose and identity. And we, this time, in this era, we've certainly lost some of that control that was actually in our control, but assuming that it's not in our control. Maybe as a matter of, we think as taqdeer, you can say. Yeah. So my question to you, Ustad, is how we can bring that balance back, considering what's in our control and what's not in our control in the light of Quran.
I'm really glad you brought up Dr. Muhammad Iqbal, yes, because he's one of my biggest influences. And I do believe that his poetry, his philosophy, even his English work, those of you that are interested in his English work, he wrote a paper called The Reconstruction of Religious Thought in Islam. Might be of interest to you. Those of you that are philosophically inclined and are okay with heavy reading, that would be quite a read. The Reconstruction of Religious Thought in Islam. But anyway, one of the most important points he makes is that what Allah has given the human being in the Quran is an elevated sense of self, which is different from arrogance. So his concept of khudi, of the self, is actually honoring yourself, and how much Allah has honored the soul, and how everything that emanates from our efforts in this world comes from the amount of power Allah gave the human soul, right? Now, you really, I think, hit the nail on the head. Muslims have accepted an attitude of helplessness around the world. We've just accepted, what can we do? We can only make dua. What can we do? We can't do anything. We're disunited. We're this. We're just looking at ourselves as this helpless, lost, once glorious days used to be there, now they're all gone, and we're not going to be able to get it back, etc. And his argument is actually very Quran inspired. It is to first realize who you actually are and what you're capable of. Like that first, your own self-actualization and realization, and how Allah is giving you that empowerment through His word. That is the first step to any revival of any nation, right? And we are at that stage now where we need to restore our sense of self. My favorite ayah of the Quran on this note is actually in Surah Al-Hashr. وَلَا تَكُونُوا كَالَّذِينَ نَسُوا اللَّهَ فَأَنْسَاهُمْ أَنفُسَهُمْ. Right? Don't become like those who forgot Allah. Allah made them forget themselves. What does that mean, they forgot themselves? They forgot the amazing truth that lies even within them. So if you couldn't value Allah, it necessarily ended in you not being able to value yourself. And so both of those things actually go hand in hand. Now, what's happened in broken Muslim cultures is you value Allah, and you know what that means? You're worthless, you're useless, you're a loser, you're a faqir, you're a gharib, you're a miskin, you're a sinner, you're a blah, 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 blah. And that's because you love Allah so much. And there's this false humility. I believe in humility, but I don't believe in false humility. I don't believe in deprecating yourself and constantly putting yourself down as your prayers aren't good enough, your du'as aren't good enough, your sins are too many. Make istighfar. But Allah doesn't want to have people live in shame. Make istighfar and move on. Make istighfar and move. Ista'marakum fiha. He wanted you to build in this world. He wanted you to develop, So that level of confidence does need to be restored. And I do believe, to me, when I think about my own relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, my own relationship with Islam itself, the pillar in it has been the Quran. Like, studying the Quran kept me grounded with the changes that were happening in the world. And I often ask myself, when people come and ask me questions about what's going on in the world or what they're feeling, and even a young man, I'm not trying to diss you, but I love you. I'm going to tell you anyway. People come up to me and ask me, "Ustad, just give me some advice. Give me some advice." And I told the young man, I'm offended by that question. And there's a number of reasons I'm offended by that question. If I don't know you and you're coming to me and asking me, give me some advice, that is about as empty as it can be. And I know I would never, at any age of my life, whether I knew much or didn't know much, that at no age of my life would I randomly go to somebody that I looked up to, a scholar, a khatib, a teacher, whoever, and just go to them and say, "Hey, I just need you to what? Give me some advice." I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it for a number of reasons. One, I would know that they don't know me, so how can they give me advice? And why is it that the work that they're actually doing, which I'm benefiting from, isn't itself the advice? Why do I need something personally catered to me, customized for my feel-good experience? Because all this other, that's for everybody else though. I want something special for me, right? And this kind of, not to insult the idea, but this is very common. This is actually very common nowadays. And it's not even about me. You could be like studying something so magnanimous, the word of Allah, and at the end of it, you're like, but what about me though? I want something special just for me. You know what that is? That's kind of an exceptionalism, right? As if Allah's word doesn't have that power, right? And I just want to break that mentality. The other side of that is my own side. My own side is, why would I give somebody advice that I know nothing about? That would be really self-righteous and pompous and arrogant of me. Let me tell you, young man, do this and what? But when somebody comes and says, "Hey, I need your advice on studying Quran systematically. I need your advice on, I'm trying to pick up Arabic. What should I do? I need your advice on some issues in time management. Not how to manage my time, I don't know what to do, but no, these are the two things I'm working on. How can I divide my time effectively between these two things? Do you have any advice on that?" The more targeted your advice is, you know what that tells me? The more purposeful you are. When you're asking for targeted advice, that means you already have a sense of purpose, you have clarity, you're pushing for something, and now you need that little bit of extra, but not, "Please motivate me." No. That needs to go. That is the ultimate evidence of our self not being actualized. We're not seeing who we are. We're not acknowledging the ruh that Allah blew inside us, that the angels made sajda to. The angels made sajda to it, man. Or because of it. And here we are thinking we're helpless. I can't make a decision. I don't know what to do. You're not helpless. You're incredibly powerful. Be humble to Allah, but be confident with what Allah has given you. We can walk with both. We can walk with confidence and humility at the same time. I gave this dars with Yusuf alayhi salam, one of the most humble personalities in the Quran, and yet very confident. Make me Minister of Finance. Why is he saying there's people with 30 years of experience in politics and finance and governance, and what's his 30-year experience? A jail cell? And he's saying, they're saying, "I'm the one who can do this job. Give me this job." That's what you call confidence, right? And we never take away humility from prophets. ذَلِكَ مِنْ فَضْلِ اللَّهِ عَلَيْنَا. That's Allah's favor on us. It's not my own, it's Allah's favor. Both of those things need to go hand in hand. The humility needs to come back, and the confidence needs to come back. And the fake humility, to me, fake humility is nothing but arrogance. That's all it is. The cry of I'm helpless is negative narcissism. It's just, "Please give me attention. Please help me because I'm special. I need special help." No, you're so special. Allah revealed the Quran for you. You're that special. You're so special. Allah put a ruh inside you. Super special. You're so special. Allah is watching every single thing you're doing. You are that important. So you don't need any more specialness. That's good enough for you.